Now, the way airlines sell is truly changing, fundamentally, irreversibly, from traditional distribution models to NDC, from ticketing to truly retailing, from one size fits all to the customized and the personalized dynamic offers, and the transformation of airline retailing is already underway. Now, our next presentation is going to be answering the question of whether African Airlines are leading this transformation, are leading this avenue, or if they are running slightly behind on the runway. Now, this presentation is titled Unlocking New Revenue Streams from Distribution Freedom to True Airline Retailing, and it is presented by TPConnects Technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Kristiaan van Dijken, the Vice President for Account Management, and Mr. Giuseppe Candela, the Vice President from Global Sales, both gentlemen from TPConnects Technologies. Let's give them a warm hand.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
So I am Giuseppe, is Chris. So indeed today we are going to discuss about the modern airline retailing and how airlines can scale and can embrace new way of engaging with the market. So I'm going to give a brief context about the African situation, and then some practical examples and case studies from our customer, and also some ideas of moving forward. So TPConnects has been in the industry for a bit over 10 years. So we have been pioneering the NDC standard with IATA, so with an aggregation platform for travel sellers. And this is the product line that we call Iris. But we also have the AFRAA Airline IT solution that powers indeed the technology for airlines that wants to engage with the market in a more dynamic way. And more recently, so we are also expanding our portfolio with AFRAA Nova, that is an offer and order solution for airlines that really wants to embrace a new modern airline retailing and the flexibility and the capabilities that we'll offer, and we will cover it during this presentation. So first of all, if we start about where we are in the African continent, so as you know, and some other speakers have been mentioning this, so in terms of profit, we are still lagging behind, so with $1.3 per passenger compared to other regions in the world, you see that there is a lot of room for improvement. Some speakers yesterday covered the challenges of the infrastructure and so on, but from a commercial perspective, maybe airlines, especially full-service carriers, have not embraced the capability and the opportunity to unbundle their offering and to gather more revenue from ancillaries. Maybe there is some reluctance to change technology provider and to embrace new technology because of the skill sets in your teams. But what we see as well is that there is a lot of growth opportunity ahead. So over the next 10 years, we see that overall the travel industry, not only airline, but the travel industry will grow in a compounded rate of 5% per year. And so we see that there is opportunity to increase the profits, and the two dimensions would be, one, of course, improving revenue, and the other one is reducing costs. So increasing revenue, one of the pillars that we see is really getting more revenue from ancillaries. So if you see on the left side of the graph, overall in the world, so the almost 16% of the revenue for airlines now is coming from ancillaries. So it's something that you cannot neglect. And indeed, again, so if we look at where we are in Africa, so the revenue per passenger is probably not even half in average of all the rest of the world. So the new modern airline retailing, NDC, can help airlines boost the revenue, and this will fix one dimension. So the other dimension is the cost. So the cost is coming from, well, in this space, from the distribution cost. So and NDC, that is the IATA standard for distribution and disintermediating airlines to travel agencies, is an answer. So it's a standard that helps streamlining the engagement and the onboarding of travel agencies in the market. It's not proprietary APIs with difficulty to integrate, but nowadays the standard is mature and support all the capabilities for the travel agencies to really use and consume your content. It allows as well the capability to retail the ancillaries that I was talking about before. So not only your own seats and bag, but could be also non-air component if you want to sell e-visas, insurances. So the standard technology is there. So it will support your journey. And then, for example, it's not, NDC maybe until now has been seen probably as a complex technology or requiring a major transformation of your infrastructure, but that's not really true these days. So technology vendors like TPConnects so can be plug and play on top of your existing PSS. So we can streamline the transformation, and also something to don't forget is that it's not completely eliminating the GDS. As you know, the GDS, they are also embracing NDC, so this technology will be integrated to the GDS as well, so the travel agencies can book on it. So the overall benefit is definitely the cost reduction, because you know, traditional distribution were a bit rigid, and so with NDC, the disintermediation from the airlines and the travel agencies, you can drastically reduce the distribution cost by almost 90%. So to picture where TPConnect is positioned in this area, so we have the AFRAA NDC solutions that if you map so in the customer journey from search, shopping, booking, and payment, and so on. So we can power the indirect channel for an airline with an API. So your OTAs and aggregators in the market can consume the airline content. But we also have a powerful B2B portal, so that can be customized to also sell additional ancillaries, to also support a group booking flow, or to also engage with corporates. So you don't need to have, again, another intermediator to sell to corporates, but you can directly engage with them. And recently as well, so we are embracing the new AI technologies with MCP server, so the Model Context Protocol, that would be even a faster way to engage and to sell your content to the market, because OTAs or aggregators can easily integrate with a language model to your content. So now I hand over to Chris, who is going to talk about some success stories of some of the African carriers we are happy to have on board.
Thank you. So yes, Ekaro is one of our success stories in the African market, and we've really seen a significant growth of them using our Astra NDC platform. So if you change the slide, I would imagine that their challenges are not necessarily that dissimilar from any other airline in the African market. High distribution cost, need to evolve in the market dynamics, need to be able to differentiate their content and provide it in a more direct manner to the travel sellers, let's say through a portal or through API. But also, how can you expand your reach to travel sellers like partnerships, like OTAs, et cetera, et cetera. So the challenges that they have, I'm sure, are not that dissimilar. Now, if we move to the next slide, if I put myself in the shoes of a travel seller, obviously the travel seller, if you look at the bottom, they obviously want to have a robust platform where they can make searches, make bookings, do the payments, but also is to have a very mature platform where they can do all the servicing that is needed. Now, on top of that, obviously, what they want is content that aligns to the needs of the customer. So whether that's in terms of differentiated prices or ancillaries that they're offering to the customer needs, obviously those are the things that as a travel seller they want. The other thing which you would expect is that this is all up to date and accurate, that when I search for it at time of booking, these things are still available at the price that was given. Okay. If I go to the next slide, you see a number of numbers, what has happened, let's say, in the last 2 years. So where Air Cairo has reached is that in the calendar year 2025, 10% of all passengers that booked are coming through the NDC channel, through Astra NDC. Over the last 2 years, we've seen a continuous growth and increase up to 40% in the last 2 years. And if we think back about some of the statements we made yesterday around the $1.30 in terms of revenue generated from a passenger, ancillaries becomes more and more important to them. So they are starting to leverage the ancillaries as well. The adoption across the travel seller has increased that they have reached now 3,000 plus travel sellers that are using the portal, whether they're IATAs, non-IATAs, any types of travel sellers. And then on the travel sellers that connect through us via API, so that the content will go into their system, what we are seeing is that onboarding of that consuming of the APIs and doing the initial work to connect is getting smoother and smoother. And you're now reaching a stage where API connects, when they connect to the platform, they will have that done in less than 3 months. Let's say a mature one, we would say, can do it in 4 to 6 weeks. Then you have a bit of the differentiation in terms of whether they want to do the booking flow first and then the servicing later, which they can do because the portal also supports that. But that allows them to really move forward and let's say, increase at pace and be able to have the adoption across the travel sellers going more and more. Now, maybe if you hold for a second. So where we've reached with Air Cairo is we are using NDC schema version 18.2. So reality, that means that's 2018 version of the NDC schema. What we are doing through 2026 is we're rolling out NDC version 24.4, which is a 2024 version of NDC. From our perspective, we feel that as a much more mature version based on which, A, airlines can adopt and embrace and expose much more servicing capabilities, but B, and that's going to be towards our next stage in a second, is providing a solid foundation for the journey of offer and order. Now, if we change the slide, unfortunately I can't mention the carrier name yet, so we don't have that agreed yet, but a neighbor not that far away from Air Cairo, they are now going live on our platform with NDC version 24.4. We're expecting that the next AFRAA quarterly newsletter will have some news on that. But really where we have reached with our airlines in a way is a very mature platform that really allows them to expose, use NDC for the future and be ready to embrace offer and order as well. Giuseppe?
Thank you, Chris. So indeed, so now I'm going to cover what is offer and order and what is the value and the use cases that can be unlocked. So traditionally, so airlines are a bit stuck with legacy technology that are coming from the 70s, so with some limitations in the way the data can be manipulated and defined. So the transition to a more order-centric design is to bring more flexibility in the product that the airlines can define, and also more better customer experience, and definitely improving revenue. So some examples, for example, of practical use cases that today no airlines can do in the industry and that will be unlocked with offer and order. So we plotted three cases, but one would be integration with digital ID and really being able to provide customer experience that is seamless. So you imagine that you are traveling from Nairobi to Luanda and you don't have a visa for Angola, and the system automatically will provide the e-visa service embedded in the fare family, so you will not even think about it, so you will be presented with it. So again, this is more customer experience and maybe also revenue opportunity for the airlines. Second case would be large parties. So Africa is a continent where there are large families, and if you know today, for example, there is no way to book more than 9 passengers in a website. So if you want to travel together within family or friends, So you have to go maybe to a travel agency, or either you do different bookings, or maybe you go to a travel agency to do a group booking, which is inconvenient and not really streamlined. So offer and order will unlock the limitation of 9 packs into a PNR. So you can do a booking of how many persons you want. And again, so this is also customer experience, maybe removing frictions in the sales process and customer and revenue. So last case that we highlighted here, so but of course there are plenty more. It's defining the premium privacy seat, for example, if you want to book 3 seats in the same row. Some airlines today, they do it, but it's very impractical in the way they do it, and it's not streamlined. But with new offer and order solution, so the airlines can easily define a product that will take 3 seats that are adjacent in a plane and be able to sell it. So this is a bit more technical, but it's the idea, so it's a shift of minding as well in the commercial operation in the airlines, so it's not more about PNR, EMDs, ticket, and so on. It's defining and seeing the industry in a different way. So the core components of the solution will be like a product catalog that is really a retailing catalog where airlines will define their product or external product that they want to retail. Stockkeeper, that is the real-time view of what you have on sale, and then of course the offer and order orchestration that will take into account the contextual input of the passenger and the parameters that we have defined to optimize the offer generation. So this picture complements the one that I mentioned before about NDC. So of course NDC will be naturally integrated in the offer and order solution we have. And then we will complement it with the 4 core components, so the product catalog, the stockkeeper, the offer management, and order management. And we are also partnering with other vendors that we see in the room here for order accounting or for service delivery, so for the departure control. So because the other vision of the offer and order transformation for an airline is to move away from monolithic vendors that will provide everything, but will give the flexibility to airlines to pick and choose and build the best of breed solutions because there is more value out of it. One idea, so to move forward in this journey. So so it's not only for small, it's not only for big airlines. Can be embraced by airlines of any size. So the first step would be, and also to capture more value faster for this transformation, would be to move to an NDC technology, so you can fast track the adoption from the market, and then moving forward to add different components of the offer and order transformation with product catalog and clarifying and defining clear use cases that you can deploy. So to sum up, so the African market definitely can leapfrog this opportunity. So you see there is a jump from 1.3 to maybe $5 per passenger of profit that you can make. And again, so there are 2 leverages. So additional revenue that you can capture with modern airline retailing, and also maybe embracing a distribution model that is different on the one that you have today, so to reduce your cost. Second point, so should not be a scary jump. We can accompany you to identify use cases and to move little by little on this transformation journey. And and the other solution, our solution is plug and play and can be deployed in a matter of weeks, so you can get value out of it soon. That was all, so we move to...
So if there are some questions in the room, we have a little bit of time.
Thank you. Good morning. My question is just to ask the overall level adoption of the NDC within airlines as well as the travel agents, And also, which is the leading market in Africa who has already adopted NDC? Thank you.
Okay, so the official figures from IATA in 2024, because I don't think they published 2025, is that overall in the market, 25% of indirect sales are done in NDC. Of course, there are carriers who are more advanced. Maybe Lufthansa Group or some others might exceed the 50%. Some others are still lagging. But because in the end, it's not only a matter of the technology you have, it is also the commercial freedom to differentiate the content and to drive adoption. In Africa, so we did a survey last year, and we see that the level of adoption is much lower than that. It was not even 10%. So there is room for improvement. Any other question?
Okay, so we're going to be around anyway. We probably will put some brochures outside in case anybody is interested as such, but please do catch us if you have any other question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. We are just going to wait for our incredible photographer, Sage, just to capture this moment, thanking the gentleman for such a resulting presentation. And in order to truly echo some of the words from the closing plenary that we had yesterday, that in reaching the African airline experience, we're going to do it through seamless systems as well as to what our gentleman just echoed, removing that friction. That is certainly where revenue is being written at the moment.